next corporate, Kapil Agarwal, the joint MD of UFO Movies, joins in now. Good afternoon, Kapil, and thanks so much for joining in. Q4 was a good quarter for you, revenue growth of 20%, margins of 36%. Can you give us a sense of how Q1 shaped up for you? What is your outlook for FY17?
Well, Q1 is yet to end, actually.
Yes, but the first 2 months of this quarter, have you seen a further improvement?
Well, generally, even with your channel, whenever I have been talking in the past, I have been always guiding that ours is not a quarterly business. Ours is an annual business. Because it is not in our hands which good movie or bad movie will come in each quarter, how the ad revenues, because which are also many times dependent on the quality of the movies, how they will shape up. So what we have seen is that on the annual basis we are doing very well. Like for example, in terms of the advertising growth, which is very, very important revenue stream for us and for the future growth. In last 5 years, we have grown at 44% CAGR.
Okay.
So,
Mr.
last
Agarwal,
year also, even the ad growth.
Yeah, actually, you're right. We were wanting to concentrate on the advertising growth and more in terms of what trends you see. I don't think you need to wait for the end of the year to have a fair idea of how the trends might be. Therefore, if you can tell us how many screens how many of your screens will increase in the current year compared to last year? How many clients do you expect to rope in? And what changes do you see in the ad rate?
Okay, so let me start from your first question. So far as screen growth is concerned, we have seen very rapid screen growth in the past years, but now the screen growth has plateaued. The country is growing like 3 or 4%, so we will also grow at 3 or 4%, which is not a very large growth. The real growth in the advertising revenue is going to come from 2 factors. One is the utilization of minutes. So in 5 years, we have grown from 1.66 minutes 5 years back to 4.15 minutes last year. The average inventory utilization that we expect in the long run is to be around 14-15 minutes. So there is a huge headroom in terms of growth. Secondly, currently we are concentrating more on the volume-led growth, not on the price-led growth. But when the volume starts increasing, the prices will also start improving. So the second growth which is going to come from the prices. So I think overall what we are looking in the long run, and I can't define the number of years, and I will also talk of the current year. In the long run we are expecting that the volume growth should happen at least 3 times and the price growth should happen at least 2 times. It may take 5-6 years.
Okay.
So
Mr. Agarwal,
your revenue should go 6 times.
Okay. Oh, that looks big. So you say that your revenues can rise 6 times because of ad rate growth, number of minutes growth, and such like. Now, if you can tell us a little bit about your caravan business.
Before caravan, I just also want to complete that in the current year, we are expecting an overall growth of around 30% in the ad revenue. So I just wanted to quickly cover also the current year. Now, caravan business, as we spoke last time also, we started the last year with 24 vans, and by end of this year or middle of next year, we were expecting to go to 300 vans. But this business is still stabilizing. It is taking time because we have to select the right routes in the villages, So all that work is going on. Currently, we have 114 vans, out of which 91 vans are operational currently. Rest vans we are looking for the routes. Now the monsoon is coming in, so 3 months this business will be out of business. So it will be a drag on the profitability in the second quarter. So essentially the H2 of this year we are expecting this business to stabilize and start giving us good revenue growth and the bottom line growth next year.
So it will turn EPS accretive only next year in FY18?
Yeah, this year it could be slightly EBITDA positive by end of the year. That's what we are expecting. That's what we are hoping actually. But not really, I'm not certain about it actually. I'm not as certain as I'm certain about 30% growth in advertising business. Because it's a new business. Every new business goes through its own initial pains. teething troubles. So that is what it is going through now, and we are stabilizing it.
Okay,
It is responding well, I must say.
Okay. All right. In club cinema, how many screens are operational right now?
In
club cinema.
In our no, club cinema is a very small, insignificant business of ours. We will be giving it push. We are concentrating on larger issues right now, like growth of caravan cinema, stabilizing advertising business. I mean, increasing, rapidly growing advertising business.
Right.
Club cinema is a very small.
Okay, then let me come back to the business that's your bread and butter, your ad business. If you can finally tell us what is the ad yield per minute, the amount of money you make per minute.
Ad yield per minute, it is a combination. You see, there are two revenue streams in this. Around the corporate business and the government business is divided into half and half, almost. Government rates are fixed for last 6 years. So government rate is not changing. The rate was fixed end of 2010, and still we are operating on the same rates. And we are camping with the government for increasing rates. So half the business, there is absolutely no growth. In the other half, which is the corporate business, we are seeing very consistent 10%, 12%, 15% growth year on year. So the combined growth that we are getting is around 5-7% year on year.
Okay, Mr. Agarwal, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in. So that's UFO Movies confident of a 30% ad revenue growth in FY17. Their caravan business should be EBITDA positive, but over the longer term, they believe that the revenues could